Hey, hey, hey. Time for another out-of-this-world story from rSpace. Wife is pregnant, baby might not be mine. Not sure why I'm doing this. I've been drinking quite heavily for most of today, so if I stop making sense, you all understand why. I'm 40 female, and my wife is 38. She was always adamant that we wouldn't have children. I wanted them, but loved her more than the idea of becoming a father. We met when I was 20 and she was 18. And were married by the time I was 22. She came from a very privileged background, and her parents did not approve of me. They're of the opinion that she married below her social station. A few months ago, she visited her parents and her father bought her a new car. Her parents have serious money, and I trusted her, so it wasn't something that I questioned. Plus, she's always received gifts from her father over the years. Why would this one be any different? A couple of weeks ago, she told me that she was pregnant, and I was ecstatic, happier than I've ever been. But it didn't last long. I got a call from a friend, and he told me that he'd seen her with her brother-in-law, sister's husband, while she was visiting her parents. She hadn't told me that she'd seen him. They've always had a weird dynamic that's made me uncomfortable, but I consoled myself with the view that she had chosen me. She could have been with him, but she had chosen me. My friend sent me some pictures, and it changed things. The images showed a couple that were very close. The images showed them gazing and holding each other. The intimate gestures of ones familiar with each other. Her gazing at him with a look that I had hoped was reserved for myself. His hands in her hair as he kissed her. Turns out, it's more than likely he bought her the car. I confronted her about it, asked her what happened, but she lied. Told me she hadn't seen him. Told me that I should know the score between them, that she has to be civil. Very freaking civil. I showed her the pictures and told her to leave. That was a week ago. Then I did the math in my head and realized the dates line up. There's a very real chance he might be the baby's father. Today I asked for a DNA test, but she exploded at that. The thought of subjecting her baby to a test, but without one, I'll never accept this child as mine. This whole ordeal has made me reconsider my marriage. Not only that, but how honest she's been throughout it. How many of the gifts that she's received over the years have actually been from her father? Has she just spread her legs for any man that's bought her something nice? Have I quite literally married a whore? I've sent her sister the pictures. Not for any noble reason of thinking that she should know. I want to hurt my wife and brother-in-law, and that's the best way I know at the moment. On Monday, I think I'm going to talk to a lawyer and set the divorce proceedings in motion. Thank you for reading, and I'm sorry if this is a mess. My mental state isn't great, and I've had a lot to drink. Edit. Thanks for the support. Those that don't believe me, that's your prerogative. This is the internet, and I understand your skepticism. I need her permission for a DNA test, and she's made it clear that she won't give it. The next step is I get a divorce and lose half my stuff. Infidelity doesn't matter as much to the UK courts. Dyslexia and a high blood alcohol level are responsible for any spelling and grammatical mistakes. Our first reaction comes from Petty BTCH Me 03. First, get a pre-birth paternity test. How you get her there? You tell her that y'all are going somewhere together, and you go straight to the doctor and say that we are getting a pre-birth paternity test. If she fights you on this, then that should be a red flag to know that it may not be yours. Secondly, tell your sister-in-law and send her the pictures of what's going on. She may not leave her husband. She may. It depends on if it could be financially stable. If he's buying your wife cars and giving her money, then the sister may care, but still stay. Tell her anyway. Some people put their respect before money. Regardless of anything, I would start divorce proceedings because more than likely she's been having an affair with her brother-in-law for quite a bit of time. But that's up to you. Some people are dumb enough to stay. Smart people usually leave. If the child turns out to be yours, you can still take care of the child without being in a marriage with her, plus you don't have to really deal with her. I don't know why people assume that being co-parents you have to deal with other parents all the time. That's untrue. You can have a third party intervene with both of you. Even if you stay, your marriage is never going to be the same. You're always going to be wondering when you see the brother-in-law and your wife what they were doing whenever your wife goes to her family supposedly house. You're going to be wondering if she's meeting up with the brother-in-law. There's no need to put yourself through it. Just get out of the marriage. If you don't do anything else, tell your sister-in-law. Send her the pictures. Just say, hey, blank, I don't know what's been going on, but my wife went there last week claiming to go see your parents, but a friend of mine sent me pictures with her and your husband together. I'm going to send you the pictures, and you determine what you want to do with them. The Hard Opinion chimes in next. This crap is amazing. Hoe get busted for cheating, then go freaking upset when a man asks for a DNA test. Bensel McPrush says, Whether the kid is yours or not, you need to burn this sham of a marriage to the ground. Do not sign anything until the DNA test is conclusive. Abbreviations FAR 7867 says, demand via court order if necessary a DNA or paternity test before you even consider signing off on a birth certificate. There's no legitimate reason for you to get stuck paying child support for or raising a child that is not yours. Final comment from Ridge Blackthorn. Wow, that sucks. Sadly, it will suck in a totally new way if you end up being the father. Good luck and keep your chin up. On to the next story. Fiancé, together 5 years, says she was drugged with ecstasy, admits to kissing a buff athlete. Sucks that this even happened, let alone to feel inclined to post about it online. I'm 26 male, and my 24 fiancé went out on the town with her college friends. We live together, and this is the only time cheating is in question. This is her last semester at a 4-year program. I thought I had one of the good ones, and that I'd never have to worry about this. Basically, she started hanging and drinking at the dorm of 2 other girls, her closest friends, and ended up at a frat house. Same crap, different post, right? I considered her to be a good person who made a mistake, since she came to me to confess. I otherwise would have never had a clue. However, the confession had some shortcomings. She was drinking, which she only does a few times per year. She claims she thinks she was drugged with ecstasy, only on the basis that she doesn't remember much and that there was apparently some girl going around frat parties and slipping it into others' drinks. Apparently, this person was caught and got into serious trouble after. She claims to not remember about 3 hours of the night, and that she had no idea what happened until someone later, different day, said they saw her kissing. Oh, you know the 6'3" jacked guy? Upset when telling me a few days after finding out, she only revealed pieces at a time. The night she began opening up about it, she only revealed that she thought she was drugged and that she was worried something happened. My heart immediately sank. I knew something was wrong. She kept saying how she didn't remember. I insisted on getting more information. We slept apart that night, and then I called the suicide prevention hotline because I was pretty effed up from thinking worst case scenarios. I'm also bipolar too. The next morning I kept insisting, and she finally admitted she kissed the guy, only because she was told she did. She swears deeply that nothing more happened because her friends were with her the whole time. One of the crappiest things about it all is the next day was her birthday, and I had planned to take her shopping and to a steakhouse. She was so hungover, she laid in bed all day. Nothing feels the same. We're supposed to get married in 6 months, and I'm kind of scared at this point. I want to believe that is the end of the story, but even still kissing someone else proves to me a lack of commitment and maturity. If you read this far, thank you. First reaction from former sentence 212. Logically, you need to put your plans on hold. Nothing should be rushed with doubts existing when you are planning something that should be a lifetime. Broad Sharp chimes in. Tell her you and her will be speaking with the guy she made out with to determine the validity of her story. Simple as that. Her reaction will tell you everything you need to know. Only angst. This, definitely. Ask her if she'll go talk with the guy with you and gauge her reaction. Even drugged with ecstasy, you still have control. You don't automatically go hump the nearest person. I think she screwed up, got high, and screwed this guy. Just my opinion. Next one from The Time Died. Take this with a pinch of salt. She went to a frat party with 2 of her friends and ended up getting drugged and molested. Her friends are not good friends if they saw her out of sorts and saw her kissing a guy and not stopping it, etc. The worst idea of the whole night seems to be taking an engaged woman to a frat house. If that is not the dumbest decision making I've seen, I don't know what is. I would also question your fiancé or girlfriend on why she thought that going to a frat party was a smart decision. 3 girls looking for a fun night out at a frat party. My honest opinion is that I feel bad for you and her, but I can't see you moving past this. You might not blame her friends right now, but you wouldn't want them at your wedding. You can be the bad guy and tell her that you are too shallow to move past this and the relationship has run its course. Every time you guys fight or you are not in the best state of mind, you will think to yourself about what happened in those 3 hours. Tell her it's not her fault, but you can't have the potential mother of your children be a horrible decision maker whose best friends are a bunch of idiots. You cannot marry one of the 3 stooges. On to the next story. Caught my brother cheating on his wife. Do I tell her? I always knew my brother was a crap person, but I just found out he's been cheating on his wife since before they were married. Together for 7, married for 3. She was 24 when they met. She fought for custody of his kid with him, all the cars are in her name. She would literally do and has done everything for him. It's 5 days before Christmas, and I'm supposed to go see him and her, but now I don't know what to do. I adore my sister-in-law. She's amazing. They're about to buy a house together. I know this will destroy his life, and she will leave him. Let's check in with the comments. Depressive Darling starts us off. You should tell her without hesitation before they buy that house together. Most women want to know if their husband or boyfriend is cheating. He could bring home diseases and get other women pregnant, and that's not fair to her. When people find out about this stuff, it hurts double to find out other people knew and never told you. That's its own form of betrayal. Tell her. She deserves to know. Whatever happens afterwards is the fault of the cheating husband and the choices she makes with that information. You will literally save her thousands of dollars by telling her before she dumps all her money on a house that they won't be living in together. Do her the favor of knowing what's going on and being able to use that money on her own place where she can actually live in peace. Mushroom Logical has the next thought. Do you have proof? If so, I would tell her. She deserves to know before they go in on such a large joint financial venture and before she wastes any more time on him. She deserves better. DOP replies, I called my other sister and she said she's known for a long time. He had confessed it to her, and I live in a small town. I was told by my closest friends. I want to tell her. She deserves so much better. Mushroom Logical 4271 replies back, then you have your answer. You definitely should. Please let her know when you do tell her that you will still support her and you're there for her, especially with so many people that have known for so long, it's gonna hurt. Marball05 closes us out. Tell her. She's going to find out eventually. Why let her waste even more time? If you don't want it to come from you, you can send her the evidence using a fake Facebook or something.